Hey, what's going on, guys? Yu Overdrive here with another deck profile. Obviously, you can tell what it is by the screen and the title, Geargia. This is my take on it. A little bit of explanation onto why the cards I have in here are why they are. This deck is just testing phenomenal. I understand now why this deck is tier 1. There's only so many ways to really play this deck, and I really do apologize that I keep having to use DuelingNetwork to do these videos. But I obviously, don't have my own collection. I really enjoy playing the game enough to keep playing on here, keep having decks, keep up with the formats. I'm trying to get back into physically playing so I can give you, physical deck profiles, and do all that any regular Yugituber would do that actually had access to cards. But you don't want to hear my sob story, so I will just jump into the deck. Obviously, the 3 of each: Accelerator, Armor, Arsenal, Brigade cards, and then 1 Geargiano, 3 Geargiano MK2s, Birdman, Strategist, 2 Watchdogs, and Redox. Redox is absolutely phenomenal. He he is like it really is, because you play essentially 4 Monster Reborns with the Redox, the Iron Call, and the 2 Call of the Haunteds. This is just the perfect tuner lineup. I honestly have thought about playing two strategists because, he isn't that bad of a normal summon if you've set up with armor. Flip armor, get a summon, or get a search for an accelerator, flip him back down, normal summon strategist, get another one, set him back down, or not set him back down, but then start going off. But, he is also really good at just keeping in the deck. Yeah, so it's like a win-lose. If you don't draw him, it doesn't hurt, but if you keep him in the deck, it doesn't hurt either. The only issue is that sometimes you do run out of Karakuri tuners to get your special summons off of the Shoguns. But, you have all these Monster Reborn options to, grab your tuners back from the yard. 1 Book of Moon, 1 Dark Hole, the 3 MSTs, and then 3 Upstarts. This deck can just OTK so hard that it really doesn't matter that you're giving your opponent life. And even if you don't OTK him and you do enough damage, you can put them in a situation where they can't come back. And, you can dig deep for your armors, your arsenals, maybe even grab your Birdman, or just grab any of your traps to kind of keep yourself from losing so hard and then being able to make your final comeback push. 2 Mirror Forces, Bottomless, Torrential, Warning, Compulse. Only 2 Geargia Gears. I hate running 3 because this card, although it is really good in getting, these guys out to more or less always go into your Gear X plays to get your Birdman, that's not essential. The only way I would ever consider running this at 3 is if we had MK3, because that card is just absolutely nutters. But yeah, for now, 2 Gears, it works phenomenally, and you can even dig deep for that with the Arsenals, or not the Arsenals, but the Upstarts, sorry. But yeah, this is really good. It's a really good turn 1 card, but it really sucks to see it late game, especially if you've already, exercised your options for getting its usefulness. 2 Fiendish Chains, 2 Call the Haunted, single Trap Stun. I have the second one in the board here, and then 2 D-Prisons to deal with anyone playing Stardust Spark or regular Stardust Dragon. Yep, that's my main deck. This is testing absolutely phenomenal. I see absolutely no reason why it should have to run at less than 42. Everything in here has proven its worth time and time again. So this is my take on it on the main deck. It doesn't vary too much from other people's lists, but I don't see a lot of people playing Iron Call anymore. But this card is proven time and time again how useful it is. I won a game just a few minutes ago because I had Birdman in the yard because I had normal summoned it instead of special summoning it, and a Geargiano. I had Geargiano on board with like some kind of big beater, like Beret or something like that, and then I Iron Called back my Birdman, tributed the Geargiano, got this guy, and then just went off again. So yeah, this card proves time and time again how useful it is. It's just like having a 4th Monster Reborn, which is really something that not a whole lot of decks can say that they can utilize, because Iron Call has its own. Not a whole lot of decks focus on Earth-based monsters, so Redox is kind of his own, has his own special place in this deck, and then the Call of the Haunteds just aren't seeing play. Jumping to the side deck, got the Hand Traps. This guy to deal with problem cards like Ophion. Ophion.deck is really annoying. That's the only real deck that kind of stops this deck in its tracks. Also, Heroes, or getting rid of stuff like Wind Up Rabbit or Evil Storm Thunderbird. 2 of the Xyz Encores, also to get rid of Ophion.deck. Or something that's kind of holding me up, like a Zen Mains or a Maestroke. The second Trap Stun for, stuff like Evil Swarm, Heroes, random rogue decks that play a lot of back row, because this deck loses really hard to back row. Soul Drain for random decks. Goes in match for rogue and other stuff like, I don't know. I can't name anything off the top of my head. Everything seems pretty attribute based, but this is really good because everything in here essentially is Earth minus the Birdman. 2 DNA series to beat spellbooks. Yep, 2 beat spellbooks. And then 1 macro to just kind of poop on water, because this deck has a really good water matchup as it is, but this is just 1 extra card. Plus, there's some decks that kind of need their yard. This deck is not one of them. Jumping into the extra, Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, Stardust Dragon, 2 of each Shogun, 1 Steel, 1 Shogun, Stardust Spark, and Black Rose. 1 Zen Means, because you do still get to the point where you can only go, like Geargiano, Geargiano Strategist, Geargiano Birdman, something like that. So he's just good in there to kind of back yourself up. Dweller, just another card that can beat water. Yeah, that's about it. He's probably the least used of any extra deck card I have. Emerald. Emerald was the last edition. I was testing out a Star Eater in here just because there's so many different ways to get him out, be it a Steel Shogun in Nishipachi or Birdman, or a Shogun plus a Watchdog, or a Redox plus a Watchdog. And I was testing Dracossack and Big Eye in here as well, and none of them proved to be nearly as useful. So I took them out and put these guys in. Maestroke to beat Ophion.deck, and then 2 Gear X's to, obviously search out anything in here minus the Redox. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I know that a lot of people aren't liking these decks because they haven't changed since last format at all. Because, I don't know any other Geargia deck that was playing 2 Redoxes. And the only thing that's really changed is that you're not playing any hand traps and more focusing on your back row because of, Stardust Spark Dragon with Deep Prisons. But Deep Prisons have always been useful. I don't see why people haven't used them. They've always been good cards. I stopped using them myself. I don't know why. But, yep, that was it. I hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. I hope you guys can learn a little something about playing this deck if you haven't already. I might post up a compilation of this deck just kind of extending to the max. So, yeah, I'll do my best, and I hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what y'all think. Yu-Gi-Oh! Overdrive. I will catch you all later.